Good morning guys, how's it going? James here from Audio.etc. Bit of a slightly sort of biggish job here, another 2-dayer. Speakers, amplifiers, stereo kind of RCAs, power wires, subwoofer, all that sort of stuff. Just want to say straight off the bat, sorry if at some points in this video you can't hear me. I have just got a bit of a sore throat at the moment, so I'll be talking a wee bit quieter than usual and it might sound a wee bit gravelly. But anyway, this, what year is it? Subaru Legacy, sorry, Subaru Outback. This is a 2004 Subaru Outback. It actually belongs to a good fan of mine from my YouTube channel and also a Patreon supporter, Phil Cassidy, awesome guy. I'm installing a bunch of his gear into his Outback here, and we're also supplying him with a little bit of stuff as well. So what we're doing, we'll start up the front. So he has gone and mounted his stereo through the faceplate of his old Macintosh system, very similar to what I actually did in a video quite recently. He's, just sort of cut the hole and got it in there. It's not hooked up or anything like that. It's hooked to power, just not hooked up to any speakers or anything like that because of the Macintosh system that was in here, and it's basically all getting redone now anyway. He just wanted to get the mounting side of things done. I'll put the link to the video where I show you guys how to do that up around here. I did it just recently into a similar Legacy with a Macintosh system with an amp bypass. But anyway, so we're using that head unit, which is an Alpine CDE 164 EBT. Really good stereo, absolutely top of the line. Only one series old now, the 163 is out. But Phil is thinking about replacing that sometime soon when he can afford it. He's going to go from that Alpine to a higher spec or a newer Pioneer model because they have built-in resistive steering wheel controls, and that way we can get his steering wheel controls going for him. So that's the head unit. This is pretty much the rest of the gear. He's got a 4-channel amp here, an Infinity. Is the model number on here? The Infinity 475A. Pretty sure these put out about 85 watts RMS per channel. It's got 70 amps worth of fusing on it. He's got a subwoofer amp here, Alpine V-Power MRP M650. These are really beastly amps as well, put out a decent amount of grunt for a subwoofer. Got about 60 amps worth of fuse rating on that. For his front speakers, we're using Alpine Type S components. He's already put the woofers in himself and done a bit of sound deadening, and we're gonna mount the tweeters. And then for the back speakers, he's got himself some Boschmans here. I'm not sure, does it say the model number on the back? Some Boschman ALX 662s, which are two-way coaxials. So I'll be interested to see what they sound like because I've never actually heard Boschman before. And then that's pretty much everything he's supplying. He's supplying the Soundstream sub box here, ported. And then we are supplying him with this awesome Rockford Fosgate P312 punch 12-inch subwoofer, which is 600 watts RMS, pretty much exactly what this puts out. And then we're also supplying him with all the wiring and everything like that. So I've got myself a T-Spec 4-gauge wiring kit here. It comes with a set of RCAs, but I'm upgrading them from the V6 series to the V8 series. So we've got three meter, 2-channel RCAs there. And also that fuse holder that's in here I probably won't end up using because I've ordered for overnight a dual fuse holder, which I'm going to mount under the bonnet, and then we're going to have separate wires going to each amplifier, which by the way I'll be mounting under the front seats. The 4-channel will be going under here and the monoblock under there, under the driver's seat. Has to be that way around because the 4-channel is so large that it just doesn't fit under the driver's seat being electric and having things there. So everything looks like it's just going to fit, which is good. I did think about whether or not we should put it like under this floor panel or not. They do fit, but these are big amps. They would put off a lot of heat and probably overheat a wee bit in there unless you had a fan system, which we don't have. Oh, the other thing we are doing as well, which is kind of probably going to be the most time-consuming part, is running new speaker wires to all the doors straight from the Infinity 4-channel amp. And that's pretty much the gist of the job. So yeah, head unit install, 2 amps, new speaker wires everywhere, power wires, RCAs, subwoofer in the box, new rear speakers, new front speakers, pretty much the works. So I'm excited to see what this is going to sound like. I'm going to crack into the initial stage, which is stripping the car. I'm actually thinking, since I'm mounting the amps under the seats, and running a whole lot of wiring, I'm actually thinking it might be beneficial for me to take both of the front seats out and maybe even all of the carpet and the center console possibly. Because I've had a look and these seats don't have SRS airbag tags on them anywhere, which suggests to me that I could potentially take them out without causing an airbag fault, you know. Obviously if it had the SRS airbag tags I could still take them out if I disconnected the battery, but I usually try and avoid that in cars if I can, because you never know what it's going to initialize or anything like that. But I think it's going to be fine to take these out because there's no airbag tags, so that's what I'm probably going to do. Take the front seats out, take the back seats out. If I can, maybe take all of the carpet out. Depends how it's connected up the front under the stereo system. So yeah, first part is definitely going to be stripping the car for as many panels as I can that I think I'm going to need out, and then get into some wire running basically. The T-Spec 4-gauge kit here comes with like 17 feet of 4-gauge power cable. I'm hoping that's going to be enough to go from the fuse holder to both of the amps separately with their own fuse. It's going to be like a 2 days probably sort of job, so I'm just going to crack into it. You'll probably see quite a few time lapses in this video. I'm not going to go into a whole heap of detail, but I'll show you bits and pieces here and there just to showcase how I've done it, you know, rather than doing a step-by-step walkthrough. So yeah, first time lapse, strip the car. The other reason I'll probably be doing more time lapses than talking as well is because, as you can probably tell already, you know, my throat, it is hurting. My voice sounds a wee bit weird at the moment. I'm not sure what it sounds like on camera, but it definitely doesn't sound normal. So I'll probably talk less in this video, which I'm sure a lot of you will be happy about since I seem to talk a lot. I had one guy comment, bro, you talk more than you do. And I have to agree with you, man. Although, when I film these videos, I do edit out all of the parts where it's just me, you know, with my head down, working, being quiet, because I feel like those are kind of boring, and if anything, you'd rather just hear me explaining what I'm doing. So that's probably why it seems like I talk a lot. See, look, I'm talking now, I'm rambling. I do talk a lot. I think I like telling myself how I'm doing things. Helps me work through the process. Anyway, time lapse. Okay guys, the car is about as apart as it's ever going to be. Got quite a bit of stuff out. All the paneling, the seats, the carpet, all the door cards. Here's what it looks like at the moment. As you can see, just totally gutted. I got the center console out as well. The glove box is gone, the bottom half of the dash. Pretty much everything is out of this car. The boot is still all intact obviously. Got all the door cards off, the speakers are out. I've even, for all the doors, unplugged each door and gotten the loom back through the hole. See, and here's the driver's one. That was originally through that wall and coming out down there, but this is going to make it easier for me to run the speaker wires in, which I think is going to have to be my first job. I need to run speaker wires. Once that's done, at least I can then get the speakers in and get the doors all back together, and then I can carry on with running like power wires and RCAs and those sorts of things. I think that's the order I'd like to do it in. So I'm going to be running. Hopefully you get it. I'm going to be using this 16 gauge speaker wire. It'll be enough for the power that we're running to all the doors. I'm hoping we're going to have enough. I'm pretty sure we will. I'll freak out if I get almost there and then run out. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do the back doors first, move on to the front ones, and maybe before I do the front ones I'll just do a quick measure up of how much of the stuff is left. And if it looks like it's going to be close, maybe I'll do 12 gauge for the front or something like that. So yeah, on to running some speaker wires, which in the speaker amp is obviously going to be down in this bay here. I thought about de-venting it, taking these floor vents out, but I thought A, that's going to leave a big recess in the carpet which could get squished down and look a bit ugly. And I also decided, you know, I might just duct tape the ends instead of taking them out, because removing this whole unit only gets me about that much more space, and the wiring is under there anyway, so it's not really getting me any more amplifier mounting space. So I decided to leave them in there. Actually, before I put the carpet and everything back in, I'll duct tape the ends. The reason for that is because if it's in the winter and you've got your heater on, it's going to be blowing hot air out of those vents. And personally, I don't really like the idea of hot air blowing onto the amplifiers. Some people do it, some people don't. I just like to avoid it. Avoid hot air on the amplifiers if possible. time to run the speaker wires along everywhere through these grommets and into the doors to these cavities. And once I've done that and they're all sitting here and in the doors, I'll stop on the car side and move over to doing all the speakers in the doors and put the doors back together, get some stuff out of the way. With where I'm going to run the speaker wires, I think the best place is going to be down the very bottom of these runs here, because I'm going to run the power cable along with the main loom here. I'm going to run the RCAs down the center console and to the amplifiers, and then the RCAs I think can sit in, sorry, not the RCAs, the speaker wires can just sit in the very bottom of the floor below the brake and fuel lines, because even though they're then in parallel with this main loom, at least they're far enough away that they're farish enough away that they're not going to pick up any noise. And also because they're like high voltage AC, that's less likely to pick up noise than RCAs are, which are low voltage. So I think we'll be right with that. So we need to go, where's the amp that's going there? This is the bad boy here. Now realistically, it would be preferable, well I mean ideally it'd be preferable to have the RCAs and all the controls towards the outside of the car so that you can adjust it if you need to. But I actually don't know how easy that would be anyway, even if I did have it the right way round with the seat on top of it and the carpet and everything. So I think I'm gonna go the more realistic way, get the amp all tuned before it gets mounted, and have the RCAs and the controls towards the center of the car, and that way the power wires and all the speaker wires are towards the outside of the car and the loom and everything like that. And the RCAs, by the way, RCAs are just going to obviously come out of the head unit and pretty much just tuck down along here in this cavity, go through the hole and pop out here right by where the amp is, and that'll be pretty simple. Also there's no wiring or anything down here, so chances of it picking up any noise are very slim, and the same on the other side. So I need all my speaker wires sort of there-ish, I guess. Need all my speaker wires coming to this sort of area here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll mark on the floor here where the speaker wires need to go to. If I go all the way over there, then the speaker wires all pretty much need to be able to get to just north of that bolt. So there, that's where I need to make sure my speaker wires can reach to. Probably not much point in me doing a slow sectioned off show you how I do it thing. It's pretty simple with speaker wires, just run them the length, cable tie them into place where they're not going to move around, cut them the right length. Once I've got them all done, I'll show you what they look like, and I might as well chuck you guys on another time lapse. As I said at the beginning of the video, this episode is going to be mostly time lapses since my throat is hurting and it's just a lot of labour intensive work, but nothing too technical. Standard job, just a long time. Okay guys, I got the speaker wires and the RCAs ran at the same time. I decided I was in the mood for running wires, so I did all of them. Well, not all of them, but you know what I mean. RCAs and speaker wires are done. So I got them, all 4 speaker wires bundled up. The 10 gauge, not 10 gauge, sorry, the 16 gauge did reach everywhere, which is great. Bundled up to that point, which I probably don't even, I could probably cut it back to about here, but I'll wait till I get the amp in. Got them there. The back right one here jumps off to the right, and the rest of them jump off here to the left, where the front left goes all the way up to the corner, in through the hole, through the grommet there, and then got a decent amount here hanging out so that it can have a loop at the bottom. There's that one. The ones for that side run along here, and it's all like duct taped into place and stuff like that, up across the centre, down the other side, and off to their respective doors. And then yeah, all this bundling of stuff you can see is the RCAs here, which just sort of duck in and on both sides tuck down underneath the heater ducts here, and then the excess gets bundled up in this sort of cavity here, jumps back to the center and loops to where it's going to plug onto the amp. So yeah, that's all of that done, and it's all duct taped down into place so we know it's not going to go anywhere. Next, I could either do the speakers or I could run the remote wire and power wires. I said I was going to try and do the speakers, so I think I might do them next. We'll get the back ones out of the way, and the front ones, and then and get the doors back together. And then after that, get onto the power wires. Who knows how much we'll get done today. Obviously I do have to work on it tomorrow as well, and I'm waiting for a fuse holder to arrive for the bonnet anyway. So I think I will jump onto the back speakers now. Okay, so here's the big old Boschman things we're putting on the back. As you can see, whoop, if I can, it like doesn't anywhere near go in. He provided us with these plastic baffle things, which look like they're designed for Sparrow. They're on like an angle. They don't really line up with the screws in the back doors, I think, just because of the shape that they are, or the position of the holes, but they do work for the front, so I think I'll try and use these for the front speakers. I'll need to strengthen them a bit with some Dynamat because they're pretty flimsy feeling, just cheap ABS plastic. But what they do fit is the mounting diameter of this speaker perfectly. So what I'm going to do is use this inner diameter to copy that size to a piece of 18mm MDF, and then I'll copy the profile of this speaker with these big wings on it as the outer diameter, and I'll make myself an 18mm baffle. So I'm just going to, like, you know, sort of trace it with a pen, rough cut it with a jigsaw, and then use the flush trim bit on the router table. Should be pretty simple, hopefully. So I've got an old piece of pre-painted glossy black wood here, which is actually from an Eclipse comparator that we wrecked a while ago. You can see the sticker still there. So it looks like we'll get 2 baffles out of this piece. So first thing I need to do is, I think, sort of semi-figure out, yeah, if I cut that in half, I need to cut there, and then place these as centered as possible, mark an outline, same on that side, cut out the hole, and then this will sit through, and I can trace that outline. Okay. Rough cut. Okay, so I've got the baffle ring, which is the right cutout diameter, screwed to the piece of wood. Now over here I've got my flush trim router bit. There we go. That's going to work. Now, the loud and noisy part. There we go. Perfect copied cut. Now let's go do the other one. Okay, now they're all nice and dusty, the way we like us. So now I need to copy this profile to that. And this is a wee bit loose in here. I need to try and center this, I suppose. Just do a guess. About there looks, ooh, this is hard. Looks good. Flip it over without moving it. Just mark a couple screw holes. Okay, now I draw this outline. Oops. Now I need to jigsaw out the outline and we'll be done. There we go, there's my baffle. That's one made. I'll give the edges a sand, and I won't bother showing you the making of the second one because obviously it's the exact same, and then we'll try and put them in. Hopefully they're good. Okay, so I'm just about to put the rear left speaker in. I'll just show you guys this one and then like do the rest without filming them because obviously it'll be all the same. I will show you what I do with the crossovers and the tweeters, but the front woofers we pretty much the same sort of deal, I suppose. So I've put some crimps on the wires so they can just plug straight on, and I've loomed up the wire a bit to the factory loom so it's down out of the way, and secured the factory plug so it can't rattle on anything. First step, oh, and the other thing I've done is on the back of the speaker here, I've put a round of foam tape on it so that it seals up against the wooden baffle nice and tight, or without any air leakage, you know what I mean, if that stays there. Okay, so first step, I need to seal the wood to the metal. So I've got some black silicone RTV here, which is what we always use. It's also good because it's like a really good glue as well, that way we're not just relying on the things. So that should just go there. Yep, we'll be right. Let's see. There we go. Thicken it up just a bit there. Got some 10 gauge PK screws here. Having this silicone RTV is good because while the screws are going to hold it in there, the RTV will actually glue to the wood and hold it quite well. There we go. The screws are pretty much in the wood. I just want to make sure that this is completely sealed around here, so I'm going to get a glove. Push that around there. And the same down here. There we go. Fingers crossed the speaker still goes in there. Let's just double check that. I hope it does. Don't hit anything. Oh, there's a bit of RTV. Oh, I see, it just hit the terminal because it was not straight. Oh no, I think it's hitting. I think we're gonna have to cut out some of this metal, guys, because yeah, this is like, the hole is like too small even with this big spacer. Unless it's hitting that thing. I think I'm gonna have to wait till the morning, guys, because this RTV will dry, and then I'm gonna have to come in here with the power file and file out all that excess metal because it's getting in the way and hitting things, I'm pretty sure. So I'll have to wait till morning. Sorry. Didn't quite fit, it's just got these massive ass, the basket on this is huge, I don't know why it's so oversized, and then there's this piece of metal sticking outside of it as well, so I don't know why that there. Like, you could mount a second like set of terminals there. I don't know why you would need a second set of terminals on a full range speaker. No one makes dual voice coil speakers, but oh well. So there you go, there's a interesting piece of information about a brand of speakers I haven't worked with before. Boschman make their magnets and everything too big, but it's okay, I'll just have to cut it. Even with those custom baffles, I don't know. Alright, I'll cut away from this and move on to the next one. Alright guys, well, I've done everything I can do for the day. So tomorrow I'm going to have to hustle and get the back speakers in, get the front speakers in, get the power wires done, amps, everything, get the heat unit in. It's going to be a mission. Hopefully I don't have too many distractions and interruptions. But worst case scenario, it rolls over to a third day. So thanks for watching today's video, guys. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to my channel and follow along with this project. Hopefully it's going to sound real good when it's all finished. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.